Good morning, Herbie. Good morning, Bill and Derek. They're the three. The big three. Good morning, you guys. Good morning. And good it shall be. I should say, and good it already is. Good morning, everybody. Good morning, RX. RX is road dogging it. He's out there on the road. Good morning, everybody. Good morning, Watsy. The floor's looking great, bro. I love the color. It's nice to have you, Bill. Anthony Big Guns Hunt is here. Good morning. Good morning, Rodman. Good morning, Sharon Sanum. Good morning, Bud. Good morning. Is anybody I missed? Good morning. Working silent listener. So you're a ninja listener, but you're working. Good morning, Shroom Digger. Good morning, Zozo. Good morning. Oh, wow. You guys are killing it already. 15 people, 14 likes. It's like you guys remember to push the like button. Good morning, Cyber Jolie. Good morning, Mike Butterball. Good morning. Don't forget to go to your chat options and switch to all chats from top chats. If you need a quick reminder to go over there and do all chat. If your computer's like mine, when I turn on YouTube, it defaults to top chat. And once in a great while, I forget, and then there's people chatting and I don't see it. Good morning, Laura Devine. Good morning, Ronnie Reel. Good morning, Kimberly the Golden Bolden. Good morning. Good morning, everybody. Give it another couple of minutes and we're going to get started here this morning. Oh, you didn't know that, Lord Prep. Yeah, good. Did you check that out? So push the... Oh, Tara's coming home. That's good, bud. So yeah, Lord Prep. Just go to your chat options and hit all chat. And you'll see quite a few more chats than you thought you had coming. The comments. This is all about comments. Good morning. I got a couple of rando factos to get us started this morning. Give me 5 people that want to hear a couple of rando factos just to get us warmed up this morning. Couple of people. Rando factos. just to warm us up. It's like a rando facto with a sip of tea. Nipper's always down for a rando facto or three. But I think we're going to rando facto a little this morning. Good morning, the star. Nice to see you back. You guys, the star came back. It's always nice to have a star here. Good morning, everybody. Let's flip this baby around and go rando. I only saw 2 or 3 of you that want to hear the randos. I don't know. The rest of you not that interested this morning? I mean, if you're not, it's okay. We'll find another thing to get started with. Trust me, I'm not taking it personal. I'm practicing the second agreement. What are you guys up to out there today? Have you practiced any of the agreements over the weekend? Good morning, much love. Billy D, there you go. Mike's down for a rando, so that's 4 of you. All I need is 5. Anybody else thinking, let's go rando? Let's go rando. Knock it off, Pops. Okay, let's go rando. They may have different names, but rubies and sapphires are actually the same type of gemstone. A ruby and a sapphire are the same type of gemstone. Well, then why do they have different names? What's the story with that? Why can't they get their own stone? Be a good stoner and have your own name. Rubies and sapphires are the same gemstone. How about this one? Catfish. Catfish are more closely related to dogs than they are to the shark species known as dogfish. Catfish are closer related to dogs than they are to sharks. Go figure. Sharks are crazy. Prehistoric animals swimming around in our oceans. Haven't sharks been around for like millions and millions of years? Haven't they? Which came first? The orange or orange? Good morning, Fulcanelli, Rosetta. Good morning. Which came first, the orange or orange? A good fried catfish from a soul food restaurant, I can go there. Which came first, orange or the orange? The fruit we call orange came before the color of the same name. Previously, the color orange was known as yellow-red. The fruit came first. What? Says carrot was already taken. So we had an orange sitting around, but he wasn't called orange. He was called yellow-red. That reminds me of one that I got, I don't know, was this about a month ago, and it hit me. What's with red onion? Red onions are not red, they're purple. Why do we call a red onion when it's actually purple? I don't mind calling it a purple onion. I don't mind. One word for all the digits. Russian, Spanish, Persian, Italian, Polish, And several languages have one-word names to describe both fingers and toes. For clarity, Spanish speakers will say dedos de la mano, which means digits of the hand. They don't say toes, they don't say fingers, they say digits. By the way, digit's a fun word to say. Fidgety digity. Digit's a fun word. I like the word digit. In 1983, Redondo Beach named the Goodyear blimp its official bird. Redondo Beach named the Goodyear blimp its official bird. This kind of rings true with me. I grew up very close to Redondo Beach. And in Redondo Beach, or just outside, just right by, is the large field where they park the blimps when they're not flying. So you can drive down the 405 freeway, and Redondo Beach is on the, if you're going south on the freeway, Redondo Beach is on the right side, and on the left side is the airfield for the blimps. And so you can see the blimps take off and land right there in their airfield, which is right by Redondo Beach. So I guess they turned it into their official bird. By the way, isn't a blimp pilot one of the rarest jobs in the world? Isn't a blimp pilot? Let's look that up real quick. I think I read somewhere where a blimp pilot, hold on. How many blimp pilots are there? How many blimp pilots are there? Oh, geez. There are very few active blimp pilots. Some estimates suggest 40 to 50 worldwide, making the profession more exclusive than being an astronaut. In the United States, there are approximately 128 licensed blimp pilots, though only a fraction of them work full-time, with Goodyear employing 10 blimp pilots in the Goodyear outfit. Key details about blimp pilots. There are fewer than 10 active blimps globally. Requirements. Blimps must hold a commercial pilot certificate and typically require specialized LTA, which is lighter than air, LTA airship training. I want to be a blimp pilot. Lifestyle. The job is often described as a niche or exclusive club, requiring skills to manage the large, wind-sensitive airships. Everything you wanted to know about blimps, but were afraid to ask, we just covered. Give me a couple more. The sound most people associate with the bald eagle is actually the call of the red-tailed hawk. Cuckoo! Cuckoo! In real life, bald eagles sound like a higher pitched seagull. And that doesn't exactly scream God, guns, freedom, and barbecues. So we're hearing red-tailed hawks pretending to be bald eagle noises. Cuckoo! Cuckoo! I don't think that's what they sound like, Pops. That's more like a dying pigeon, perhaps. Maybe a crow. Reintroducing wolves into Wisconsin has helped reduce deer vehicle collision by 24%. Wolves use highway shoulders as hunting paths, effectively keeping deer at bay. The wolves travel along the sides of the freeway, and the deer are like, yeah, no. Yeah, never mind. Greenie, I have to send you an address today. I have forgotten for the last 2 days. I need to send you Joe Deese's address. I'll do right after the show, the program. He won the ounce of smokable last week in the drawing, and I have forgotten to send that to you for the last 2 days. So I'll get that to you. Chickens appear to be attracted to the color red. Wait, what's happening with Rod? Yeah, family. Yeah, I get it, Rodman. Chickens appear, and I'm sorry for what you're going through. I think you had mentioned some issues on IG, so my whole thing is hang in there. Hang in there. Everything has a season. Okay, Greenie, you got it, big bro. Yeah, everything has a season. I have so much more to say, but it's none of my business. So I'm learning. Who was it? I know, it was Cyber Jolie wrote to me this weekend. She wrote something to me this weekend. It was pretty good. I'll tell you what it was. Let me read it. I like what Cyber Jolie did. It's what I'm practicing nowadays. Cyber Jolie wrote, "Hi, Pops. I hope you're having a good Sunday. I learned an important lesson yesterday. RFK Jr. came up on my Instagram feed. I commented on how funny he was. Later, I got a pang of compassion, and I deleted my comment regarding this announcement that he did coke off a toilet seat. That's not funny at all. I remembered the rule. Be impeccable. I feel immense sympathy for him now, and I'm sending love always." Her point was, we make, and I wrote back, I love that. You made the right call. We accidentally comment sometimes when silence is godly. We find ourselves just firing off comments when silence would be the more appropriate thing. If you find yourself having sent something, it's not too late to delete it. That's my thought. It's kind of an act of contrition. Go ahead and go back and hit the delete button. Okay? We don't, we're learning here as we study the Tao together that we're all human. We're all in this together. He's one beat. You're one beat. Everybody is a single beat in the heartbeat of humanity. And it's hard because we weren't taught to stop judging. We weren't taught. Yeah, Niffy, we get triggered. You know, we're actually programmed. Oh, I've got to make a comment. I've got to put in my 2 cents. Don't be the 2-center. It's a good lesson. I'm grateful for that. Sometimes it's best to just be quiet. Give me 5 people that agree with that. Give me 5 people that think, hey, you know what, recently I sent a comment that I might have been better if I hadn't. Just, we're human. I told you guys I did something a couple weeks ago and then I had to go back and delete it. We're so programmed to have to put in our 2 cents and, oh, I'm going to be the funny commenter. I'm going to be... These are about people that are real. And, I mean, our love should be totally inclusive. Even those that we can't even find almost an iota of something to love about them, they're still a human being. We're learning that. We're learning together here. That I agree with you, Fulcanelli. But we're learning. Nobody's perfect yet. You know, the only thing well, nature's perfect. The sun is perfect. That's why I want to be more like the sun. I want to shine my light on everything and everybody, every living creature. Not just those that I feel good about. Camels typically only need 30 minutes of sleep each day. You have got to be kidding me. 30 minutes they're sleeping. What are we doing? Making them caravan the rest of the time? Get up, go drink some water? What? 30 minutes. Wow. Crazy. When octopuses are bored, they will sometimes nibble on their own tentacle, just like we humans bite our nails. Okay, that's cool. I still go back to these randos always make me ask, who figured that out? Who figured out, well, I think that octopus is bored. How do we not know? How do we know? Maybe it's cleaning itself. Maybe this is part of its own maintenance ritual. Why do we say they're bored? How do we know? Did we ask the octopus, why are you doing that? I almost read testicle nibbler. I was this close to saying testicle instead of tentacle. Imagine that. I'm so bored I'm nibbling on my testicles. Knock it off, Pops. Knock it off. An ostrich's eye is larger than its brain. That's crazy. And I'll give you one more. And this is, again, how do you know? How do you know this? All land mammals get goosebumps. Okay, you tell me who's studying skunks for goosebumps? Who's studying squirrels? Who checked out a grizzly bear and said, "Are you getting goosebumps?" The jaguar, the lion, a gorilla, yeah, a porcupine. Good one, Mike. How do you know? Oh, I can see there's a goosebump. All land mammals get goosebumps. I want proof. I want proof. Sometimes I just can't take this stuff for the face value. Okay? Sometimes I'm just like, I'm not buying it. I want proof. I want to see the study. Rando factos. Question everything, Niffy. Right? How do they know? Leanna Giluli. There's a last name. Leanna Giluli watched the cannabis activists build an industry, then lose it to suits who never touched the plant. She refuses to let that happen again. So as co-founder of North Star, she's helping psychedelic companies survive without selling their souls. We asked Leanna, what made her realize the psychedelic industry needed an intervention? How regenerative businesses work in practice, and whether integrity and growth can ever truly be aligned. This is an article, question and answer with Leanna Giluli. Question: what made you realize the psychedelic industry needed North Star? Answer: I saw a pattern from my experience in cannabis. I worked for years with the Arc View Group, an investment network started by the radical activists Troy Dayton and Steve D'Angelo, who'd been organizing smoke-ins on the front lawn of the Capitol since the 60s. They created this group to help stand up for a safe, compliant industry that would prove cannabis could be regulated properly and create a domino effect for drug policy reform. But what happened was the classic story of commercialization and market capture. Many of those people in the early days who had a direct relationship with the plant and cared about social justice ended up losing their companies. I'd MC these conferences in New York where entrepreneur after entrepreneur would stand up in a suit and say, I've never smoked cannabis a day in my life, and here's my cannabis company. It was like, what is happening? It became this massive business opportunity for people to capitalize on. And I left. When Compass Pathways switched from nonprofit to profit in 2017, I worried the same trajectory would play out in psychedelics unless we tried to build an industry that cared about ethics. We can't stop capitalism from doing what it does. There will always be a large, publicly traded companies maximizing profit per their fiduciary obligation to their shareholders. But my prayer has been that doesn't become the only way to access psychedelics, and that smaller companies caring about outcomes, safety, harm reduction, and reciprocity, can band together and survive. What's broken about how psychedelic companies are being built right now, and what's working? Is this interesting to you guys? Give me 5 people that say this is interesting. In cannabis, pretty much all of the smaller companies and multi-generational operations didn't survive the big business takeover. That's what I'm concerned about here. There are so many people who really care about doing things the right way. But we exist inside systems where the rules of the game are often anti-ethical to the core values that many founders care about. What's working is that people are grappling with this tension. They're asking, how do we stay present to this challenge and create pathways to deeper alignment? I think of what we do at North Star as harm reduction on capitalism. It's a transformational membrane where through intersecting with us, you can onboard practices and policies that walk you toward becoming a company with transformational practices. There's a 3-horizon framework I find helpful. Horizon 1 is business as usual. This is how business works, don't ask questions. Horizon 2 represents business in transition, making different choices. Like saying, I know that if I source my minerals from China, it might come with child labor. So I'll pay a little more to know it doesn't. Horizon 3 means steward-owned organizations with decentralized governance, truly in service of their stakeholders. Many companies in Europe and other countries exist in these models. 70% of Danish stock market capitalization comes from foundation-owned firms, including large companies like Novo Nordisk. We're trying to help psychedelic entrepreneurs open up to that possibility. Can you give an example of what a regenerative psychedelic business looks like versus an extractive one? An extractive business takes without putting anything back. A regenerative business creates flourishing, not just for the stakeholders, not just for the shareholders, but also for the patients, the employees, the communities, and the knowledge holders. Say you're building a psychedelic therapy company, which we're working towards. An extractive approach would be source your psilocybin from wherever it's cheapest, oversell your product's benefits without highlighting its risks, patent everything you can, pay therapists as little as possible, charge patients premium rates, and focus solely on maximizing investor returns. A regenerative approach looks different at every level. You'd ensure ethical sourcing. You'd engage in meaningful reciprocity with indigenous communities beyond symbolic gestures, including real resource sharing, collaboration on protocol development, and compensation for knowledge. You'd pay facilitators living wages. You'd create access solutions for communities and patients in financial need. And consider governance structures that aren't just about enriching the founders and early investors. The key difference is asking who benefits from this company's existence. If the answer is primarily the founder and the investors, that's extractive. If the answer includes patients and practitioners and communities and knowledge holders, you're moving towards regenerative. This is really important to me personally. I have a vision. My vision is in the next 2 years or so to have our own facilitator company. And we want to be high performing, incredibly ethical, and beyond reasonable in price and ability to reach people. We won't be doing it for profit. We'll be doing it for service. That's my vision, and we're working towards it. I've had that vision, the same vision for providing the fruit that we provide. I can't do it any cheaper right now based off of the price of supplies, based off of the price of leases and utilities, the overhead. We're not looking to make money. As a matter of fact, we don't. If I did, it would be antithetical to what I know is the right way to handle this. What are some of the practical steps entrepreneurs in this space can take to uphold the integrity of what these medicines teach us, especially those starting out or operating on a small scale? I worry about recommending too much to newer, smaller companies. They need to get on their feet, and if they're burying themselves in checklists, that's not functional. I've seen amazing groups eat themselves through over-focus on ethics and governance too early. That's right, Ozzy. That said, make integrity a design constraint, not just a cultural vibe. Be clear about your non-negotiables. If there's something you won't do, even if it's profitable, name those red lines. Have a mission statement and principles. Where am I? And co-develop them with your team so there's a collective ownership. I'm a big believer in transparency, both inward with the team and outward to the world. Practice it before you're forced to. It builds trust. Nobody's going to do everything perfectly, especially in a space still figuring itself out. So be honest up front when you stumble. Was that important to you to say there, the real? Was that important? You don't know me from Adam, but that's the first thing you want to say to me? I want to tell you something. I don't take it personal. I've learned to practice the second agreement a lot right here, especially when people make comments that aren't kind. You have a motive. Check yourself. Check yourself. Then there's naming the shadow. We know that engaging with shadow is often where the personal work is in psychedelics. So how can we as companies name our shadow too? Normalize not getting an A+ on alignment and identifying where the growth is. It can be simple. We want to improve our employee satisfaction score, for example. Finally, practice rupture and repair. Make it part of company culture. Ruptures are inevitable, so experiment with repair, even when there's no rupture. Build that skill so that when it does come up, it's not scary. There's a little bit more to the article. It's a very good article in yesterday's Tricycle Day newsletter. I invite you to check out the rest of that article. The key I think we're hearing here is let's not turn the psychedelic situation, businesses, entrepreneurships, let's not turn them into the same thing that happened to the cannabis industry. We have a cannabis industry as an example, largely of what not to do. Let's be really careful. You know, the mushrooms don't charge me to grow. There's some dollars involved in getting them up and getting them growing. But I'm telling you, once you start overcharging and you start putting the money into the equation, and that you're doing it for money instead of for service to humanity, you're probably already setting yourself up for some real problems, some real heartaches. The mushrooms don't work that way. I learned that my first year. And I'm glad I had an opportunity to switch my direction, do a complete 180, and start serving instead of taking. Start giving. I want to read a couple of real quick quotes to you guys. Instead of adding things for more happiness, try subtracting them. Instead of adding things for more happiness, try subtracting them. We're going to read the verse in the Tao Te Ching today. It's basically simplified. The whole verse is about simplifying our lives. The ability to simplify means to eliminate the unnecessary so that the necessary may speak. Clutter smothers. Simplicity breathes. There is no greatness where there is no simplicity, goodness, and truth. When you are overwhelmed, tired, and stressed, the answer is almost always less. Get rid of something. Lots of something. Big change is the result of hundreds of tiny steps, and they all count. Simplify. Simplify. Simplify, said Thoreau. Simplicity is the ultimate sophistication, said Leonardo da Vinci. The ability to simplify means to eliminate the unnecessary. Life is really simple, but we insist on making it complicated. In character, in manner, in style, in all things, the supreme excellence is simplify. Those who live life with deep understanding always prefer simplicity. Let's go to the verse in the Tao Te Ching, 48th verse. Good morning, Deshaun. Nice to see you here this morning. Very nice to see you. Thank you for joining us. 48th verse of the Tao Te Ching. Learning consists of daily accumulating The practice of the Tao consists of daily diminishing, decreasing, and decreasing until doing nothing. When nothing is done, nothing is left undone. True mastery can be gained by letting things go their own way. It cannot be gained by interfering. Deshaun, you're getting chocolate donuts from the people here. When you're new and the first time we've seen you, we give you a bunch of chocolate donuts and you can do anything you want with them. No matter if we can come back anytime you want, and you can give chocolate donuts to anybody new you see. Okay? Living by decreasing. We live in a society that seems to say, the more you amass, the more value you possess as a human being. Have you been taught that? I was programmed that. I was amassing up on a whole mass. The bigger my mass, the cooler I was. Does anybody remember being taught that? Program that. The more you amass, the more value you possess as a human being. What a crock. But I bought it for years, half a century. Half a century standing in that food line. The bigger your yacht. Remember the guy last week added 6 feet for $30 million? He wanted a bigger yacht. The more he amassed, the better person he was, the more value he had to himself. Here in the 48th verse of the Tao Te Ching, you're asked to change the way you look at this notion. Rather than validating yourself by acquiring more, you can reverse this embedded idea of increasing as the criteria for mastering life. The benefit of living by decreasing is seeing your world in a different light. One in which, believe it or not, you'll experience a greater sense of completeness. Throughout the years of your formal schooling, you are encouraged to accumulate more of everything being made available to you. More mathematical formulas, more rules of grammar, more knowledge of ancient and modern history, information about the human body, the inner and outer galaxies, more information, more religion, more chemical compounds, and so on and so forth. You amassed a series of transcripts, diplomas, and degrees that summarized your voyage of collecting, gathering, and hoarding evidence of your learning. Lao Tzu suggests re-examining this legacy, for then you can base your level of success on something that appears to be the exact opposite of what you've pursued so far. I used to have a saying, I still do. Facts are facts. They're just facts. They only become knowledge when you give them away. Give away what you know. Teach with what you have. Teach the things that you know well. Write a little book. Put it on Amazon. Make $1.33 per copy. That's what we did. I make $1.33 per copy. Whoa, he's getting rich off that book. And all it is a download on how you guys can do this on your own. You could grow your own. You don't have to rely on an outside source. $1.33. As a matter of fact, we're going to start teaching out of that book next week. It hit me this week, over the weekend. It's time to do a refresher course on just a quickie on how to grow mushrooms. Many of us here know, but there's a whole lot of new people here that are paying attention now, and maybe they'll get some good information. That's what we're going to be doing. Quick book. It's 30 pages long. We're going to read it here. The Tao asks you to release the external indicators and symbols of your educational status. Derek Anderson, it's how to grow mushrooms in 10 easy steps. 10 easy steps. While learning is about accumulating information and knowledge, the Tao is about wisdom. Wisdom involves letting go of information and knowledge and living in harmony with your source. In order to enliven your experience of the Tao and live by its principles, you're being asked to practice decreasing your reliance upon things. As I've already mentioned in these pages, everything that you add to your life brings with it an element of imprisonment. I know my fast cars did. My brand new red car did. I was imprisoned to it. Shackled. I gotta get out there and I gotta wax it. The bigger your house is, the more imprisoned it is. The more it's going to cost you to maintain it. The more things that can go wrong. Also, you can live in a closet. Nope, got to have 4,000 square feet. Nope, it's got to be a 3-story. Nope, it's got to have a view. You know, the view on a walk through the forest is better than any view I've ever seen from a rich person's balcony. Your stuff requires you to insure it and protect it from potential thieves or natural disasters. Furthermore, you need to polish and you need to paint, and you need to clean and you need to store and you need to pack it. Oh, and you need to move it from place to place. There's infinite wisdom in the idea that Lao Tzu outlines in this verse. Especially in his view that true mastery can only be gained by freeing yourself of attachments to things and in fact downsizing what you already have. There is freedom in downsizing. I live a life very, very simple today. Downsized. Deliberately downsized. You know, I lived on a boat for a year, 12 months. And I didn't have a storage container. Everything that I owned, I disposed of, except for the small amount of things that I could hold on this boat with me. Okay? I sell my boat. I'm going to move to, and some property, and I'm going to move to Detroit, Michigan. I loaded everything that I had up in the back of an SUV. Everything. It fit in the back of an SUV. I drove across the United States, had a great little trip. Ruffy sitting next to me, words sightseeing, we have a great trip. We get to Michigan, bought a house with a basement. Within less than a year, It was so packed full, the garage, the basement, the house. I don't even know where it all came from. I had to have bought it. It was all shipped in. 90% of it I got off of darn Amazon, just so it would be delivered and I didn't have to go out shopping. When I sold that house and I moved to this one, I had a moving van filled with stuff. How did I multiply from the back of an SUV to a moving van that you could barely close the back door of in less than 4 years? My life didn't get simpler. My life got a lot more complicated. Now I have to move it all. Well, you know what we did? We had a garage sale. It turned into a garage giveaway. Some of you came by. Some of you came by the old garage giveaway. Giving it away. Downsizing. Simplifying. Did I lose money in the process? Yeah. Do I care? Not one bit. I'm more satisfied today than anything. That was one of the most satisfactory things I did. Yes, Volcanelli. That is one of the most satisfying things I've ever done. Was my garage giveaway. People are like, "Are you kidding? I can just take it?" I go, "Can you use it? Is this something that will make a difference?" Yeah, add it to the crap in your house. I didn't say that. But people were in there diving in, taking a free-for-all. I think I made about $300 off of a moving van full of good stuff. I didn't want it anymore. I learned my lesson. My lesson was not to do that again. Don't accumulate, don't hoard, just so you have to move it with you. Take the basics. You know what I have literally today in my cupboard? You'd crack up if you looked in my cupboard. My old cupboard, 3 sets of dishes. 3 12-piece place setting. So I'm having like 36 plates in one cupboard. Today, I have 4 plates, 4 cups, 4 bowls. And I only use one at a time. So the other 3 are in case I have company. 4. It's the easiest thing in the whole world. Reach in, grab 1 plate, 1 cup, 1 bowl. I have about 4 forks. I might have an extra knife or 2. It's awesome. Jesus Christ gave away his ex. That's simplifying. That's right, moms. If I have company, I've already decided I looks like mom said, so they don't get a china plate. I have company, I'm going to have a party, paper plates for that day. Very simplified. Very simple. And I'm not kidding you. I'm holding myself up as an example, but it's true. I really decluttered. I look at things now, if I haven't used it in the last 6 months, then I don't need it. And that's because of seasons. See the value in subtraction or daily diminishing. See the value in it. Especially if you can give it to somebody that could use it. If you're not. Especially. Why am I going to have closets full of stuff and never touch it, never use it? Begin to consciously decrease your need to purchase more things. Keep in mind that the advertising world is designed to convince you that your happiness is tied to whatever it's promoting. Boy, did I fall for that one. Name brands. I'm not wearing that unless it's got a name brand on it. It's got to have a polo. Got to have the polo guy here. You know what I wear now? Amazon Essential. Whatever the cheapest brand is. You don't know the difference. You don't care. The only one that cared was me and my ego and falling for what they were programming me to fall for. I gotta own the name brand. I'm an absolute example of having fallen for that. I'm not saying that some brands don't have quality, and when you do buy something, make sure you get quality. Especially if you're like me, it's going to be the last time you ever buy it. I'm never buying one of those again. I'll get a decent one this time. I don't need it to be the top of the line. That was the old pops that worried about what you thought about what I had. Can you imagine that? And you didn't even look in my closet. Instead of buying more, see how much of your accumulated possessions you can recirculate. Give them away. Give away of your excess. You have 5 and you only need 2. Give away the other 3. A great place to give away is the Goodwill. It really is. The Goodwill has been around for years and years and years, decades. You don't hear scandal, you don't hear tarnish. They have a mission. They're pretty effective in their mission. The Salvation Army. Some of these other thrift shops that are tied to charity groups. Give it away. Oh, I can't give it away. I bought that. I spent some money. I spent money on it so I could squirrel it away in my closet or my garage and never look at it again. Local thrift stores, great, Sam. I like thrift stores too. Never. I shopped last November. I was heading to my sister's house. And I wanted like a blazer. So I could look sharp in case we went out to dinner one night while we were visiting with her. So I went to a local thrift shop near me. And I found this most garish plaid blazer. Something that I would have never picked or never gotten out of Macy's or, Nordstrom's, which is all I'd shopped at before. And I got myself a suit jacket for like $8. Okay, just like $8. And I wore it in my sister's house. And two or three people, it was a small party, two or three people like, that is the coolest jacket I've ever seen. I was getting compliments left and right on this cool jacket that I wore. Oh, I went out of my way to tell them it was worth $8. Okay? I didn't spend a lot of money on my jacket. And not because I'm cheap. And not because I'm cheap. I'm not. You guys know me. Pops isn't cheap. He's just learning what to do and living a life more simply. Living a life more simply. I guarantee you'll notice a refreshing feeling of freedom as your desire diminishes and you let go of your obsession with the material objects that you've acquired, that you've hoarded. As Lao Tzu might say, you came here with no thing, and you leave with no thing. When you're on your deathbed, they're not going to be asking you, what color was your jet ski? How fast did it go? The jet ski's not going to be in the room with you. While you're laying in that bed and you're passing. You know who's going to be in the room with you? The people that you've treated well during your life. That want to be in your presence for a final time or two. That you want around. I guarantee you're not going to ask for objects and items. You're going to ask for humans to be around you. Does that make sense? Think of what you want with you in your death room. And anything else you don't need. Anything else, you've actually burdened someone. Now somebody else has to get rid of it. Oh, for sure, my pets have got to be in there too, Kim. Take great pleasure in the simplest things in your life. There's even greater pleasure to be had knowing that your ability to live peacefully and happily isn't dependent on how much stuff you add to your life. Living by decreasing is the way of the Tao. Practicing joy in the natural world rather than seeking fulfillment in ownership. See the folly of ownership in a universe that's eternally composing and decomposing, just like you are. In essence, Lao Tzu's saying that's what's real never changes because it has no form. So the more you can let things unfold naturally, the more harmoniously you're living in the Tao. Enjoy flowers and clouds and sunsets and storms. Enjoy stars, enjoy mountains. And most of all, enjoy the people around you. The people you know, the people you meet. Enjoy people. Be with the world, in it, and adoring it, but not needing to possess it. This is the way of peace. This is the way of the Tao. Many of the wars, many of the frictions caused between human groups is because of possessions. We want that. We want that. We want to change the border. We want to expand. We want your raw minerals. We want what you have. So we're going to go to war and kill you for it. Lusting after other person's possessions. For more than 500 years, Kabir has been one of India's revered poets. One of his popular observations sums up this 48th verse of the Tao Te Ching. The fish in the water that is thirsty needs serious professional counseling. We live in a world that's so rich, so full already. If you're thirsty, he says you need professional counseling. No wonder there's so much mental anguish, so many mental health issues, and depression and anxiety. Because we live in a world where the world isn't enough. Final thought, do the Tao. Right this minute, let go of 5 items that you have in your possession, putting them in circulation so others might find them. Next, pick something that has particular value to you and give it away. It's important that it be something you really like for you to have an attachment to the item. There is greater joy when you let it go. Try it. Try it. This can become a practice of living life daily by diminishing. You can't give something away that you don't own. And if you do own it, give it away. That's a planting of a seed. Watch what happens. There's a metaphysical principle on our planet. The more we give away, the more we get. I didn't say the more possessions you're going to receive. The more we get. The more wise you get, the kinder you get. Giving away creates gratitude, not just in the receiver, but in the giver. The more you give away, the more you're going to get. You want stuff, and I don't mean physical stuff. You want to grow as a human being. Practice simplifying. Four things. Be impeccable with your word and your actions. Don't take things personal. Have no expectation. Be a giver and do not care what the response is. Oh, well, I gave and they didn't say thank you and now I'm mad and I'm just... Give because it's the right thing for you to do to gain wisdom and mastery. And do your best. Give me 5 people that liked today's message about simplification. Give me 5 people. And we'll get you guys out of here. Diminish to show yourself approved. It's incredibly powerful. Very, very powerful. Nature just gives. Gives, and it hoards nothing. No sunshine is hoarded. No snow is hoarded. It's going to the top of a mountain and it's melting down and it's feeding our water streams and it's given right to us. Be like nature. Thank you guys. Beautiful day today. Beautiful day. We're going to have a great one. Give away 5 things. Try it. Do the exercise. Do the Tao. 5 things. And then pick one thing that's really kind of important to you. And find somebody that could use it and needs it. And say, I'm going to give this to you. No expectations. And then just turn around and walk away. Look how good you're going to feel. You'll see. I know it for a fact because I did it. I've been doing it. Feels great. Feels way better than going out there and stressing because I have to go wax my new car. Greg Avery, nice to see you this morning. Sam and Mike Barball and Jesus Christ in Australia. Joey D's and Herbie Von Wordy Kebab. And Jesus Christ and Aaron and Corey D. See, Corey D gave a grow light away and it felt great. Proof. Derek Anderson, giving kindness away and it comes back to you. He is very, very kind. Ray Cook and Aaron and Nurs and Justin Flower. Justin, Jesus Christ and Zozo LSD, have a great day. Justin and Cleany. And Anthony Big Guns Hunt, and Aaron and Shane Gann. Good morning, Shane. And Billy T and Joe G's, and Herbs and Derek Anderson. Kimberly, thank you. Nippy, thank you too. Corey and Shroom Digger and Ronnie Reel. And Greenie, the Green Table Gardener. And Justin and Mom's Munchies. Good morning, Mom. Love you. Mellow and Nurs. That's right, we're all working towards that. Let's get wiser. Let's not own more. Let's just give and be wiser. Ray Cook, Sammy B, Herbie, Nurs, Billy D, The Star. Nice to see The Star here again. Bill D, Sammy P, Mellow, Yamikaman, Shroom Digger, Mom's Munchies, Cleany, Herbs, Viva. Good morning, Pidgey Page. Sanum Sharon. Laura, have a divine day. Trenty the Trenty Trenterson. Excuse me, Nippy. The Wazzy the Wazzy Wazerton. Kimberly's getting fleeky with it. Mike Butterball. Who else is on here? That's about it right there. Everybody else. Pops, peace, love. Simplify, diminish. Diminish, to be rightly divide the word of truth, simplify it. Pops, love, peace. I'll see you guys here tomorrow. We'll keep this thing rolling. Have a simple day.